Good morning, my friends. It's Miss Jackie, your occupational therapist here, and we are going to be doing an activity working on some of our scissors skills and fine motor skills for occupational therapy today. And this week we're celebrating Valentine's Day. So we are going to need this worksheet. If you don't have the worksheet, that's okay. You can have your mom or teacher just recreate the hearts and the lines. We're also going to need some paper. I have brown and red, and you're going to need some crayons to color in our hearts and some glue. You can have stick glue or you can use liquid Elmer's glue. And you're also going to need some scissors. All right, so we're going to first start with coloring in our balloons. So you can color your balloons any colors you want to. So my thumb is bent, pointer points to the tip, middle finger rests on the side, and I tuck those last two fingers in to take it for a ride. And when we color in our hearts, we're going to try to stay inside the boundaries. So we're going to wiggle our fingers in circles to go around and color in those hearts. All right. So I did my first one. I'm going to do my next heart in orange. And remember, so pretend this is the table. My wrist is going to be on the table, and we're wiggling our fingers when we color in those hearts. Going back and forth, staying inside the boundary line as best as we can. Wiggling those fingers. All right, my next heart I'm going to do in green, and you guys can do any colors you want to. You don't have to pick the same as me. And we're going to take our time and color in all of our hearts. After we color in all our hearts, we're going to get to cut out some paper to make the string for our heart balloons. All right, and the last one I'm going to do is yellow. Sometimes it's helpful if you have a crayon that's really little. This way you can work on pinching it down at the bottom. So pinch, and then we rest that middle finger. My thumb is bent out. My pointer's pointing towards the bottom of the crayon, and my middle finger is resting on the side, and I tuck those last two fingers in. All right, so all of my hearts are colored in. Now, you're going to have your teacher or your parent take your colored paper, and they can use any color crayon that you want, and they are going to just draw some lines for you. So I want them to do lines from top to bottom, okay? And we're going to make some lines to make some little squares, because we're going to cut out squares to make the string. So we're going to keep cutting, or we're going to do some lines. So one color, so I did a dark color for the vertical lines, and I will do, let's see, an orange for the horizontal. And we're going to make some squares. Can you see that? No, not really. Let's see. Let's do a purple. So horizontal lines just going across. Good. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors. Thumb goes in the small hole, two fingers in the big hole. My thumb is on top. It's pointing towards the ceiling or the sky. And we're going to cut along the, let me show you. We're going to cut along the strip. So first we're going to cut all of our long strips. Open and close, open and close. First we're doing the vertical lines. My thumb is on top of the paper. All right, and then now I'm going to pinch my paper, and I'm going to cut across the other lines that we have. So you're going to cut and make little tiny squares. Okay, if they're not perfect squares, that's okay too. And you're just going to keep working with that helper hand to use two hands together, and we're snipping and making little tiny squares. My thumb is on top of the paper, and we're snipping on that line to make little squares and rectangles. And you're going to have to use that helper hand and wiggle it. So you're going to start closer, and then when the scissors have to get here, you're going to wiggle your fingers over so you can use your dominant hand to help if you need to. And we are cutting all of our squares. All right, and now I will show you. You can see that I have a whole pile of squares here. So you can put your scissors away, and you can open up your glue stick using two hands, and we're gonna pull it open. All right, if you need to, you can twist the bottom to twist out more glue. And we are going to start to glue our little squares onto the strings. So we're gonna first we're gonna get our glue stick, and I'm going to glue all the way down this line, starting from top and go to the bottom. And you're going to use your pincher fingers, get little fingers out ready, and you're going to pinch your red square, and you're going to put it onto your string. And we're pinching and putting it onto your red string. And you're going to push it down with your pointer. Push, push. Make sure they're not going to pop off. All right. My first one is done. Now I'm going to go top to bottom of my second heart balloon. And I'm going to use my pincher fingers to pinch the squares. And if you don't have red paper, you can use any color paper you want. You can even do multicolored paper if you want to use different color squares. And we're pinching and pushing it onto the paper. I'm going to move over here to the green one. So you can see I did designs. I just put them in any order, but you could also line them up, which would be kind of cool. You could line them up in a row, so you have one straight line. Pinch. Whoop, it slid down a little bit. You could, if you have different colors, we could make a really cool pattern. So you could do red, leave a space open, and I'm going to add in some brown squares there to make a pattern. All right, and this one I'm going to do 2 red, and then leave a brown one and do 2 red. So I'm going to cut out my brown ones real quick just so that you can see what I mean by a pattern. I'm going to cut my brown squares. So I need 1, 2, and 3. And push with our pointer. So red, brown, red, brown, red, brown, red. And then we have red, red, brown, red, red. Okay? So you guys can get creative and make your balloon strings as cool or as pretty as you want. I'd love to see you making some patterns and doing different angles. All right, I hope you have fun with this. Happy Valentine's Day!